Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, free enterprise fans. I am one of your co-commentators, Groundflyer, and we have an awesome match up this afternoon, or evening, or morning, between Bakashinobi and penguin8r. In a best of three, they are at match 3. So this means win or go home. And these are expert players. They've been playing awesome all tournament, and I am extremely excited to see how they do. I am joined in the booth with Rivers McCown, Final Fantasy IV guru. Uh, what are you thinking about this race and the flags we see here?
Thanks, Grandfly. It's great to be on the podcast. I assume you want to talk about. Bakashinobi, penguin8r, two of our best runners over the course of free enterprise history. Going into a hype game 3. I'm very excited to see how this turns out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And definitely the objectives are kind of interesting. I mean, we have one complete mount ordeals, which oftentimes, is faded if you find underground really quickly, but you can't do that here. Unless you need a tele, then you definitely want to do it. And then we have 2 other key item gated things here: destroy the super cannon and complete Gave Magnus. So hopefully we will get some music. Rivers will be very excited to hear the music, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think Calm Lamity has done a great job with new tracks to the game. Of course, all the board classics are there, and I'm excited to talk over all of them, any of them, whichever ones I can, really.
Yeah, I prefer just, you can go la 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 until, you get muted, obviously. But yeah, no, Calm Lamity's done a great job. Obviously, this whole everything that's set up to make this run is awesome. And speaking of which, I have to thank Dathis, who is pushing the buttons for this, so you will see the objectives light up and such. And thank X Pancraz, who is the opponent of whoever wins this race, and he is restreaming for us, so he is making the lights go on and the show up for you. So thanks to both of you.
Yeah, Pancraz is sneaking up on everybody, and not anymore though. not after the way he won that first round. So
yeah, he can't really be sneaky
anymore. 2 guys.
Yeah, he can't really be sneaky anymore. Everyone saw how good he is. So Baka and penguin8r are probably thinking about that potentially in the future, but they are focused on facing each other right now. And this is a Rydia start. Normally a character you don't really like to get at the beginning because she starts at 30 hit points and is really weak. If you get a good summon, she's good, but oftentimes you want to pick her up later to slingshot. So I'm sure that both of these runners will be grabbing a couple of characters with a few more hit points before they start fighting anything.
I don't think Penguin will knock this Rydia out, but I'm sure he's very tempted to. He loves the slingshot with those black mages. Actually, both these runners do. So I feel like that's going to factor in at least somewhat here. And it looks like we are off the Penguin side.
Ooh, and we get an Eddie pairing. Somebody they want to keep in the back pocket with a sorcerer robe, which will be nice for some defense, magic attack, and whatnot for the mages. So that'll be useful. I don't know if they're going to be taking the Eddie, but I'm guessing not just yet, given that you don't know if you're going to need strats that use him.
So that was a no. Yeah. Rydia gets to wander the world on her own. Don't crash that airship.
Yeah, that's not weird. I'm all alone. I'm like, what is she, 6 years old, I think? And just, yeah, piloting an airship, that's pretty impressive.
And I think most of the matches I've seen have started off with people heading right to Watery Pass, but we shall see.
Oh, looks like penguin8r's going to the inn, so he's probably going to check out that fight and who is there. So get a little early shot, but Bakashinobi's doing exactly as you said, checking out that Watery Pass. And we have a Tella in Baron Inn. That is a character they absolutely want. That makes the
That's
utility.
A star.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
That's a star.
Oh yeah, that's right. A star on the other side. So yeah, that could be some gross stuff. If that's a wyvern, it doesn't matter if it's only a 400 hit point spot. You have to get out something quickly or it's going to blow you up.
Sid in the pass.
Yeah, Sid, I feel like is a really good opener because, even though he doesn't necessarily have quite the high-end late game DPS and stuff, he starts out with really high hit points and can do some damage, especially with that ogre axe that was found in the waterfall there.
Yeah, these flags really think have helped accentuate how good Sid can be, especially carrying early game and for the way that runners tend to like to do slingshots, set up shots, and hold on to empty slots until they're sure about what they want to do. I think he's really kind of shined in these flags.
Yeah, one of the things that's important with these flags is that since you have what is it called? You can't get permajoin. Thank you, Brain. You definitely want to be very careful about who you take in your party. You don't want somebody that's going to be like some small utility for a moment, because you're not going to be able to get rid of them. But Sid does so well early game that he makes that go so much faster that it's worth taking him regardless.
Samurai armor out of the basement and a wizard robe. Nothing too great so far, but both runners having seen that Ogre Axe in the lottery already with the Flame Whip, we should be okay for dealing damage early on.
Yeah, that Ogre Axe will take out Antline, many other spots too, and another Sid. Doubtful they will take a second one though, but we shall see if they get a hold of any other kinds of mages at some point. Oh, that's a Mega Man Sid too. Dang it!
Rip.
Bakashinobi taking the hovercraft over to the Antlion Cave. Some people do that. Some people do that, or they fly over. I'm not sure if it's a lot faster to do it that way, but I do notice a lot of folks do that, especially like Inveterable does that.
Yeah, that became kind of his trademark at some point. I feel like I don't know. I haven't actually timed this out before. I think it's pretty close, but every second counts in these races. So whatever you can optimize, man, just go for it.
Yeah, the optimization at this level is kind of amazing. Yeah, there's things you can do that saves like a second or two. You can switch stuff around in your menus. You can menu in fights and during attacks and stuff like that to save time. There's so many places you can save little tiny bits of time and get a real advantage.
We had a Dr. Luggage in the waterfall, taking a nice little shower.
And we have, what is that, Jin? Is that the name of him? I guess it's Ifrit or whatever. Yeah, in the Hobbs check. So that's pretty good starter summon for Rydia. That'll do some okay damage.
Yeah, that'll help if they run into multi enemy bosses for sure.
And we got bonus round in that Antlion Cave, so that's a huge deal. This is going to be 2 key item spots to check. But Baka is definitely taking out Rydia and letting her take a little nap for a while. She'll probably wake up and do a little more work later on. But Sid is more than powerful enough. He just took out that mist with no problems.
And on Hobbs, we've got Young and a star and running away. Not interested in his boy.
Yeah, Yang is a weird character because he can do well, but his strength and HP curve is so bad. He starts out extremely weak early on, but sometimes people pick him up to slingshot him, and he's really powerful end game. But we got the package from Antlion, and
got a package out of Antlion, and it turns out that Rydia's mom, it was an inside job.
Oh god. That always amuses me when you end up with something like that, where it's the Mist Dragon destroying the village or something like that with the sprites. But Baka is not wasting any time taking that out too. He's going to check that right now.
Penguin picked up a Rosa out of Mysidia, so good to have the best character, in my opinion.
Yeah, you really can't beat a white mage like that with that kind of not only damage but hit points and good magic growth and stuff like that. Like she gets good spells pretty early, and she's just awesome to have at any point. You always want to take her.
So we got a pan out of the D-Mist check. I feel like our runners probably will do Fabul with the setup anyway. I feel like that's become pretty common, so not really a fade Fabul kind of tournament, but definitely the option gets on the table, at least, I guess.
I definitely see folks sometimes kind of either save it for later or whatnot, but yeah, Fabul is a really fast check too. Like it's maybe a minute out of your way, maybe a little more. But you know, it's one of the faster key item slots to check here, so I do see people do it sometimes. But obviously, what we call the Rivers McCown special, to fade it and then get underground and do the whole check at once with the pan and Sheila and defend is a pretty efficient way to go.
The way this seat is set up, especially where ordeals is an objective anyway, I would put it off. But I mean, I'm not these runners, and obviously everybody is entitled to their opinions on best meta practices.
Everyone is entitled to be wrong.
I never said that. That wasn't me.
Oh, I said that. I just said that. But no, I agree with you, honestly. Like, Ordeals is tough-ish, you know, but I think with that Sid with the Ogre Axe and now Rosa, I think that's a pretty good play, you know, because, like you said, it's an objective. So, you know, you want to see what's up there, and you know that Tell is hanging out in Baron Inn, so it'd be good to kind of, you know, power him up, either with him or without him.
Penguin's actually keeping that alive for now, so I feel like the main difference between our runners so far is just that Penguin has checked the summon and kind of gone in on Rydia, whereas Baka has not.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I guess I can see if you keep Rydia down, then, you know, places where you need an anchor, she's really low agility at level 1, so that can be really useful. But if you have the utility and can, you know, nab a good spell or two, she can really do well in the early game with some summons.
Baka storming Ordeals right away.
Yeah, it gets a nice little rune ring. And it gets a cane. That's an interesting one. I don't know if we've seen anything of the spear variety.
Yeah, I think we've only seen the Ogre Axe Sid already has, and I think I saw Wind Spears in the shop. Baka will dismiss him as he left that Rosa behind and missed as well, so...
He left the Rosa? Oh, in the package place. He took the other Rosa, right?
Yes, he did, yeah.
Yeah, 2 Roses is sometimes a play you want to make, but not too often, especially with Atella. You don't really need that. I mean, it's nice to be able to, you know, have the dual blink strats, especially if you're doing like a lot of melee and stuff, or you have a boss that punches really hard. But, you know, if you're going to have Atella, you don't really need that.
Thing too, that Hourglass 2 in the Ordeals chest, that could come in handy early on too.
Yeah, some of the J items are so powerful. Like, I really wish the original Final Fantasy IV had some of these J items, because, you know, maybe they were taken out because they're complicated or something, but it actually made the game way harder.
Yeah, I mean, 1991 Nintendo of America did not think that Americans could handle these J items. They're too hot to handle.
They are pretty hot, pretty spicy. Speaking of spicy, we have a wall hanging out on a bridge, which seems like a strange place for a wall, but, you know, they live where they want to live. I don't know. I can't stop them. But he's going to get beat up pretty fast here, probably. Oh, and I see that Rosa is actually holding a power staff and just hit Sid, and that hit gave him Berserk.
We'd love to see it.
I do. I, in fact, do love to see that.
We love to see the power staff get used. So power staff actually is interesting because you can tell that they kind of intended it to cast Berserk, but they didn't actually finish coding it correctly. However, bonk a character, and you might get lucky and have it stick anyway. So that happened here, and Baka benefiting. The evil wall will have some cracks in it pretty soon.
Yeah, Sid on that last hit definitely got that accuracy boost too with the Berserk as well, and hit like 800 damage, so that was pretty quick. Didn't even save. Getting a Sparkle for his trouble, but it's a Plague, okay, and he has a character down, so that's actually pretty advantageous for this Plague, because
that is helpful, yes.
This is actually like one of the worst places to see Plague, because since you're back attacked, he actually gets an advantage, and sometimes you don't start until like the count's like 7 or 6.
Yeah, he's still got to set up a strategy to actually do some damage here, or I guess you could also reflect strat it if you wanted to play it slow. I don't know if the police work out on this spot though. I guess they might.
Yeah, maybe, I'm not sure, but okay, he's still trying to Zerk that Sid, which I don't know. how long he wants to try that. I don't know what the accuracy of it is. It doesn't always hit, even if you hit the person.
Yeah, it's not that high, I don't think. And I think his Rydia also has Fire Whip equipped, right? So it's actually at full HP instead of, actually using the base vitality stat.
And there Sid gets berserk. Oh, wait, what happened? Oh, Sid died of the berserk, or he died of count after the berserk went off. That's a little unfortunate.
That's a you, actually.
yes, it sure is.
Penguin took that cane, so that could make a difference here. Getting 4 on this fight is a nice bonus for sure, and he's already saved, so he doesn't have to commit to it either, like Baka has.
Yeah, he's definitely got a little bit extra power, and he did. It seems like pretty well catch up a little bit on that first evil wall. Took that out, so he might catch up a little more here if he's got a little more efficient strategy than just his characters falling over all the time.
Blanc, blanc. Bloop, 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 bloop.
I do love all the sounds. Okay, not all the sounds.
See, I always do commentary with the actual sound muted, so I don't get to hear them, but I imagine them, and that's important.
Yeah, I can't. If I listen to this, I'd hear my own voice, and that would be horrible. No one wants to hear my own voice, especially me. Ugh.
We've got Kane using some Wizard Spear strats here to set up the Rydia kills, so...
Yeah, Blizzard Spear, especially if you're doing some jumps, will do some pretty good work. But yeah, just the added, like, having extra characters, having more DPS to throw out might give him a little advantage here. So I'm curious to see if he can catch up.
Oh, 31.
And the crumble. Baka makes it through.
That was tight for Mr. Shinobi there.
Yeah, I assume Baka is his first name and Shinobi is his last name. We'll have to ask him. But yeah,
I'll always write it for sure.
But then is Penguin8r's first name and 8r the last name? Mr. 8r?
No, it's Pengu and then in8r.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Not really.
Well, what makes sense? What makes sense is going to ordeals, taking care of your objectives. Bakashinobi actually saving after that.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't save going into that fight. That's spicy. And Penguin8r does, in fact, take out that plague as well. So he caught up a little bit. We're going to see what this item is in the, whatever this room is called, place with mirrors.
The mountain grave.
The magma key room, I guess, because they just got underground access, and it's the easy, quick one. Because Pancras loves them and wants to give them easy, free things. Yeah, I think it's just like a shrine. I think, Kluya's shrine is probably right.
And then you got Octoman down here. I always love... One of my favorite things about Free Enterprise is when Octoman gets shoved into a room where the tentacles shouldn't be able to pop up out of the ground. It just looks weird.
Yeah, I love the tentacles coming up through like solid rock. That's always hilarious. But hey, if you can swim in solid rock, you gotta be pretty freaking strong, you'd think,
Not in this spot.
Oh yeah, not in this spot when you're like 800 hit points or whatever it is.
Fun fact, the JP version, that spot has way, way more HP. This is like, I think 1,000. But in the JP version, you can't do, the vanilla JP version, you can't do the whole Dancing Dagger cheese on the spot. It just has way too much HP, so you gotta wait that anyway.
Oh, fascinating. So you just gotta deal with the waves and just sit there.
Mm-hmm. But good inventory spot. So I think the Japanese runners are pretty happy with it.
For sure. And hey, Rivers, you are getting the Rivers special twice in stereo for you, so I'm sure you're very excited to see that very efficient move. Do you find it weird that people call it the River Special?
I'm so out of touch with the memes now that like and what is it? Among Us has become so big too. I haven't had it all, so I'm just like every time I watch chat now, I'm like I'm watching the race. You guys are weird.
Yeah, no. All you need to do is to get into the lingo is just call everything sus. You're good to go then.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
If you can be okay with calling things sus, because it is kind of weird. I don't know. I think everyone who plays that game is sus, honestly. But anyway, I digress. We're watching a different thing.
Penguin8r going to Baron in rather than turning in that magma key right away.
Oh, hey, that's a big old dragonish thing that likes to mega nuke stuff, and wow, that's a lot of damage. So might have to change the battle speed and try again there.
I'm going to turn it over to my pal John Madden to do the commentary on this. And you see the timer, and he just, you circle the mega nuke, and boom, boom, there it goes.
That was pretty freaking. Oh god, nicely done, Rivers.
I need at least one of those every tournament.
I appreciate it. I got to be here for it. So Penguin8r, the one downside to doing well, and he gets mega nuked again, unfortunately, so he could not one-shot it. But one downside is you kind of have to slow down your battle speed for this. But then the second fight is one of the slowest fights. I don't know if it's like the slowest fight in the game, but it always feels like molasses. So if you throw in like a battle speed 6 on top of it, it makes it even worse. But he looks like he's given up on that just for the moment. Is going to head underground, and Baka is heading in to turn in the pan.
Yeah, that is not a nice place for that wyvern to be, unfortunately. They'll come back when they're a little bit more ready to deal with it. And I guess we're going to get to see a bunch of solo fabules, which obviously you've all memed already, but
There's never enough memes. But speaking of memes, we just got a spoon. Yay, spoon. Which I guess is a knife in the Japanese version, isn't it?
I see you played Knifey Spoony before.
Yes. Always appreciate what I guess that would be a Simpsons reference, right?
That is correct, technically.
Hey, technically is the best kind of correct. Wait, did I say that right? I don't know. Memes are right.
Baka actually looting here in the Feymarch first. Denying me of my cookie pan check.
Yeah, you don't get it right away, unfortunately. But, I mean, I get it. One of the main rules is check your freebies, so it's good to be able to just come in here and take care of it and then head back above ground. Maybe you don't need to come back down here if it's like a darkness crystal or something, so.
I don't buy it. Seems sus.
Yeah, there you go. See, you did the memes. You did it. Welcome to the party. I mean, that's one of the best things about this this whole community. Really, is just that like we're all so devoted to memes and stuff. It's amusing, but it's a lot of fun too. And they should have done what you were thinking, Rivers, and do the quick check, because that samurai bow in the freebie spot in Feymarch, not really what they were looking for.
I mean, it does help out Rosa. That's a form of help.
True, and on the help side, we have Curse Ring in the armor shop here in Feymarch. I don't think Baka went there, but hey, also 2 free bosses to check out here. I don't know if that blue one is the big. Oh, hey, we've got that's a nice little thing to see out of Leviathan, the alt gauntlet.
Why reset? It was going so well for you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. What's the problem? Oh, even a dwarf axe if you want to in the weapon shop there. So if you want to get Kane back row glitched, if you end up with Kane, that'd be really helpful too.
Well, one of our owners actually does have Kane already.
And the other one is a loser who doesn't like Kane.
Oh.
Shots fired.
Kane's jumped.
I wish I had that ability. Just like, this conversation's getting weird. It's kind of awkward. I'm just gonna jump like 200 feet in the air and get out of here.
You would use that often?
Yeah, unless I'm tired or my legs hurt or something, I guess.
Well, this is awkward. However, my legs also hurt, so I guess I'm still here.
Crud, I guess I have to stick around. There's a ceiling here? Oh, I don't want to hang out with you guys. Come on.
What is masonry?
Yeah, right. I mean, if you can jump 200 feet in the air, you kind of figure your head can probably bash through the ceiling. I don't know. It might cause brain damage over time. Who knows?
Penguin's making some interesting resets here. He was like halfway through that cave, and then he decided to go back and throw Rydia in the middle with Cursed Ring and see if he can take down something here, it looks like.
Yeah, so the Ashura spot had some sort of guards. He might be going up against that. I don't know if he already looked at it and saw what the guards are. I don't think we've seen either of them yet.
They do have an hour too, so that could be motivating.
That makes sense. If he can get some battle speed 1 characters here and throw down. Yep, it's actually what he's doing. So, yeah, hourglass these folks and they won't be doing anything.
Not quite as easy as it would be with Sid, but it is still free, so can't complain.
True. Kind of wish you had Tella in this situation so you could like Zerk or something, but
it's like that Kane has the assassin dagger kind of moving out.
That's right. That auto kills. And life glitching these soldiers too. That's really helpful for some early XP. Baka over in Dwarf checked out the shop there. I believe he saw Ether 2s, so those are extremely helpful if you want to do grinds, D-machine grinds and whatnot.
He decided he didn't want to do any 52 hammers in the seed, so giving up on the second Sid already. That was a bunch of swooning. Penguin, great job there. Get a bunch of levels on everybody but Rydia. That's also probably for his strategy later on. And it's the Sound of Silence.
Yeah, honestly, the Silence Staff is nice because it gives good white magic boost and stuff to Rosa, but Silence is also awesome. Like, imagine if you could win Silence and everyone would just be quiet for a while. That'd be really nice. That'd be really nice to get.
I'm going to take that and put it in feedback and ideas.
Yes. It'd be fun. You pick up the Silence Staff and the game just goes quiet for a couple of minutes.
Did we actually check, or is he? No, he's just looking. So we don't know who the boss of Dwarf is yet.
Yeah, right. He just checked the shop, but he is now finishing the the special here, going to do defend and check out the 2 Sheila spots. Curious which order he does.
I guess his Penguin probably thought that, and we can ask him later. His train of thought probably was like, I want that Tella really bad, so let me get some levels here first, then do all this.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, just kind of get a couple spells with your Rosa would really be nice too, and just have something that can actually make it through that Wyvern and make it through whatever's next. We haven't even seen it yet. Baka doing a little more shopping before he heads up.
The Charm Arrows have logged on.
Yeah, Charm Arrows are sure spicy against giants. Interesting. Penguin8r's going in and do the Sheila checks first, and Baka is headed up and do the defend first. Yeah, there were Ether 2s in... Was it in Dwarf?
Yeah, in Dwarf.
We get a bomb.
Oh, we got the Luka key.
Luka key was the second one. That's good. Somewhat.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's just dying to go in there.
Oh yeah, totally. It's not going to be difficult or anything. I mean, Like, and it's such a bait spot too, because you can go in there just with whatever you have, see what the item is. It's like, ooh, this is super important. Then you walk out, and all of a sudden you're just like destroyed by whatever boss shows up. Or maybe it's just because I'm really bad.
And both our runners have both of our runners have the Earth Hammer. So at this point, the end of Mom isn't that hard. It's a matter of getting there.
Yeah, that Earth Hammer has really good utility because you can use it for the AOE attacks, and it's pretty strong. I guess that item has its
or to throw a drum.
Right, or a drum, exactly. Yeah, those. I wonder, are those basically the same power? I guess early on it doesn't matter.
No, they're not. The guy drum's much more hardcore.
Makes sense. But speaking of hardcore, I don't know. This isn't even a good segue. But we just got a legend sword on Baka side. I forget segues. I'm just gonna say the word segue and move on.
So we got Legend Sword, and we're gonna get the key here. So that will leave us with the hunt for 3 key items still.
Yeah, still haven't seen Darkness.
See what 3 you need.
Got plenty of checks left. Now we have Lucas. That's the spiciest check. But no, my guess is that both these runners are gonna probably head to Dwarf now. I think that's like the easiest check. Or no, I'm sorry. Probably head to Inn first. Get that Tella.
Well, Shinobi doesn't actually know that he needs to go there, or doesn't know that that's there yet. I don't think he ever visited.
Oh, Baka never visited. That's interesting. Yeah, so that'll be, well, he'll find out the hard way that stinks, but also that that he has that Tella that I'm sure he's going to use to fill out his party at this point. Taking a Yang? Or is he just checking? He took the Yang, I think. Interesting. Oh, he was just checking.
He does have 2 spots left.
It looks like actually he just was checking that he just said yes, whatever. He was just checking if a boss was there. It was pale dim, so that is now out. When he sees that sparkle at Baron Inn, he knows that that's not available, but or Plague actually. Looks like penguin8r seems to be on his way to somewhere. I guess everyone's on their way somewhere. But yeah, put that samurai bow on Rose, and she's gonna do some real work. Yeah, Jason, that's a good point. Bear in mind, Bakashinobi had the 4 seed and was able to draft, and he drafted penguin8r as his opponent. And they have some history. They played earlier in this tournament in the group stages, I believe. It was a super fast seed, and Baka won by very little. It was extremely close, and so this is the rematch.
Yeah, the ability to draft your opponent has thrown a few twists in this first round, especially for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. Like at first, I was like, oh, everyone's just gonna pick like, something that's like, oh, they have the best odds of advancing. Some maybe, whatever they think might be easier or whatever, or good matchups. But instead, they kind of all went for like the biggest, most bombastic matchups possible. This is definitely one of them. This is super good.
We what can I say? We're a pretty hyped community.
I can't blame it. Like you want a hype matchup right away. Like when Dusty with the first pick picked Invenerable, he's just like, I want this race to happen. I'm going to make it happen right now. So and it's been awesome. And Baka gets that Rude Awakening or Rude Asleepening, I guess, because he probably gets knocked out.
That was the second time he's been knocked out.
Oh, so he got knocked out twice. Nice.
The double awakening, as it were. And yeah, those the Penguin got from doing that Bay March card fight actually kind of saw him through that a little easier.
And got him a Baron Key. That is a vanilla Baron Key right there. And the Tella, of course, which would be very nice. But yeah, those just a couple extra levels early on makes your early game so much faster. So I really can't blame penguin8r for just kind of punching through that, even though he got a silent staff. Or actually, did he save that? I think he did.
He did. He did. Because he wanted the level.
Yeah. I mean, but it is a spicy gamble because he also gave up that hourglass. You know, that could be valuable for other reasons in the future. So, but I think getting that power early game, I think, makes up for it.
Star Veils in the Baron item shop.
Yeah, Star Veils are extremely helpful for Z and for most fights, so you always want to find those too. And it looks like he
Can't wait to get rid of those.
Yeah, right, exactly. Junk. penguin8r foregoing Baron, though, and doing that Dwarf Castle.
I like it, actually. I think you get more experience reward from Dwarf, so as long as the Dwarf boss is doable, you know, you kind of make Baron a little bit easier.
It's a good point. Also, like, I guess if I think about it timing-wise, it's probably a little faster. Because you don't have, like, there's that huge cutscene at the end of Baron, which lengthens it by, like, a minute and change.
Everybody loves that cutscene, though. You know, you walk some more, look in the pot. Everybody's happy.
Who doesn't love looking in pots? Pots are fun.
Anyway, that's an Ogopogo.
Yeah, so, like, all the big sparkles are out of the way. Actually, what's left? There is the D-Lunars.
No, we saw those. Those were in
Oh.
this cave.
So is this all of them, then?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it is. So there you go. All the stars are out of the way. So Baka, I think, still has a free spot, right? I know that penguin8r obviously is full, so he can't pick up or drop any. Well, he can't drop anyway, but he can't pick up any more characters. This is his final party. And this is not a pleasant place for this Nope Rope either, because yeah, I don't know what the HP in the slot is, but it's pretty hefty, and I'm pretty sure this is a real punchy spot too. So luckily, I think Rosa and Tella both have blink, so the blink strats are really helpful.
Yeah, this is about 9,000, I think. It's around that area.
Yeah, those double waves are brutal. I think that takes out Sid. So if you don't do enough, if you can't heal enough to get through the waves, then it starts to just add up. And their Tella went down, so this could be really scary.
Yeah, if you don't get the Berserk started early on Ogopogo, it could be pretty rough. I personally don't know anything about Ogopogo's derailing any seeds in any major tournaments, so it's interesting to watch somebody else deal with it.
Yeah, that sounds like totally strange. I don't know. It's definitely a once in a lifetime kind of thing.
Sure. It looks like Baka's actually going to take that Baron key and give us some divergence.
I do love the divergence. See, Ogo it's taken some time, so that's going to make Baka's trip through here a little bit. They might finish pretty close to each other in terms of when they get done here, because those waves are just crushing.
Oh, but we got fire arrow, so Baka's set now.
I mean, that's the best item in the game, right?
It's definitely the most useful thing you can pull out of a chest.
Completely accurate.
This is kind of edge of the seat stuff for Penguin here. He's regrouped around just one Berserker.
Oof,
So
and now the
getting some
Berserker's
good
the only one left, and okay, Ogo is down, but unfortunately, whoever that next boss is, he only has one character up, and Kane is like half HP, so this could be scary. Or it's Mylon. Probably. If you can get a cure up, at least it should be pretty free.
Yeah, that should give him some time to regroup at least. And Yang hanging out in Baron today. Decided to move into the castle for once.
Yeah, the inn was kind of boring. The accommodations weren't great, so he asked to, to hang out in the actual castle itself, which, I assume has probably really nice, like, beds and stuff.
I like service, honestly. He thinks that, those waitresses too slow. So he wanted some better customer service. That's all.
I appreciate that. Oh wow, and that so penguin8r again only has Kane up, and those he used life, and Tella still went down because those vampires actually took him out. And we've got an ant lion usurping the throne.
Yeah, Tella's vitality is pretty bad, so might need to carve out some gas before he does that again.
But at least Kane is now taking out the all but one of the ghasts. Probably doesn't want to deal with that big punch. I think he'll make it through this, but you can see how much time he spent on this because that fight was just so trolly.
Yeah, that's one that it's always a pretty close call on whether you want to reset or not. I guess Penguin just kind of committed to it. That's one where, like, as a runner, you can see that one going either way, honestly.
Yeah, at a point it's like, okay, well, I can do this, but then does that override how, knowing that it's going to take a hot minute? And we get to crumple. Antlion is now defeated. So we shall see the long walk to the pot. Actually, we'll also see a character here, so Baka may end up taking somebody new.
It'll be a foo. Oh wait, no, it won't be.
Man, who is that guy? I don't even know. I keep hearing that name. Never heard of him. Edge, though, on the other hand, I have heard of. Very briefly.
Okay.
And Mylon is talking about his body to other people for some reason and disappearing.
Well, it's hurt. He's not a fan of his body being hurt.
That's fair. See, I thought he had like psoriasis or something. He wanted to ask if he needed to see a doctor. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that cloak is pretty sus.
Right, exactly.
Baka take edge immediately. It doesn't mean he won't take edge at the end of the game, though. That really just depends.
But he has a darkness crystal now. We have found our way to the moon. We have found the way to our grind, and this is open, wide up for Baka right here. So big advantage for Baka. Did you see what penguin8r got? Oh, it looks like he got a rat tail.
Well, that's not the best reward. No hook, I'm going to be honest. But hey, there's a lot of ball game left.
Exactly. Well, I mean, and the thing is, only one objective is lit, so every item could be useful for its own reasons. But obviously, you want to get that grind done as soon as you can. So this is definitely putting Baka in the driver's seat. Like, one of the other unfortunate things about doing Dwarf, like you were saying, it's good XP. But I think penguin8r only had, like, he had 2 characters up, maybe?
Well, I mean, that'll wind up being good for him as he gets slingshot going. But yeah, there's not really a lot of benefit to doing Dwarf if you have to take 10 minutes to do it, or it wasn't actually 10 minutes, but you know what I mean. When it's a struggle.
Very true, exactly. But yeah, you're right. That's a good point. I don't think about that. I guess for slingshots, you need to be 5 levels below the median level.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
So I think that was a save on Earth for Baka, and then I guess this is going to be a character check.
Not a bad idea. Check the shop, check this character. Although I don't know what character he would take over the other ones available at this moment. Maybe a Palom?
Well, Palom, another Radia probably.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, any sort of black mage might be good if he's looking for reflex strats, which seem to be kind of all the rage this season. Did find a Soma drop up in that shop. Also, there were vampires, although I don't think this, unless they do 1200 HP stretch, which is not off the table but unlikely. They won't be needing those.
Yeah, I think it's a little late in the seed for those to take off for both runners, actually.
Yeah, I mean they're obviously like going to grind, so at that point you don't really need 1200 HP strats. Penguin8r on his way, taking out the karate, who for some reason isn't punching but instead swinging a sword. That jerk. If he can swing a sword, he should do it the whole game. Why is he holding back?
Well, he only has the black sword, so it doesn't matter. That's like the dark sword animation, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's definitely like the dark reddish or whatever it looks like. So you're right. And another Eddie on the lunar dais. Probably not taking him now, but who knows?
It's interesting to me that Baka played this to keep the Soma drop. I don't know if that would be worth it to me, but
that is a lot of work for one Soma drop.
You're right a little bit. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying that is a lot of work for like 10 MP. Like I know that it sets things up nicely, so you can do exactly 4 weeks for the grind. But then I don't know. It's also like a 3-minute check that he just did at least, so that's a lot of time.
So I can explain like a levels concept. I can explain Y cross. I can explain the read option, but I need you to explain the Bakashinobi level stuff when we get there.
Yeah, I'm not quite as familiar with that stuff. You're talking about some sports ball or something I'm not familiar with. Just kidding, I know what you're talking about.
So it looks like Baka is actually going to check the Dwarf Castle first, which could be pretty beneficial for Penguin as far as up here.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Especially if this is a struggle fight.
That's adding time unnecessarily. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what. I guess maybe he's just trying to level things up a little bit so that he can get the slingshot set up. That'd be my guess. But this is a really lengthy thing to be doing that for. And he's going to see that Oko and change his mind really fast, maybe.
And he's got 8. I don't think he knows that it's Oko though. I think only Penguin checked Mist Cave.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so he wouldn't have any clue at this moment. You're right.
It was not Palmadorf, no.
Yeah, no Palams have been in the seed so far.
Oh, reset. Ooh, you love it. You love it.
I think that's a smart move for his sake. I mean, given that we know it's just a rat tail, but also because that's so kind of time consuming. So it's good that he has that information that he has darkness, so he knew to just get out. Taking character number 5.
Yeah, he will not take any characters. Won't get involved in any of this moon business because he already knows the 5 characters he's got.
Think. Taking the Yang. And again, Yang's not great early game. Like he has the claws and they're nice, but he gets some real power when he gets like late game power, like late game levels and stuff. Gets up to like 4,000 or 5,000 HP and just starts throwing down like 3,500, 4,000 punches with no like stat boosting gear.
So yeah, you're gonna have to explain to me what they're doing, Graham, because this is meta that I was not involved in creating at all.
No clue what this is. This is strange. Let's see. I guess I have to think. No, I'm kidding. So there's such a thing called a D machine grind. You may be familiar with that, or maybe not. I don't know. But no, what they're doing here is, what Baka is setting up is there's a way to manipulate your encounters based on a certain encounter seed on the planet. This is a new way of doing this that was set up and developed by Simbu and then kind of translated into easy to read format by Twisted Flax. And what you do is you count the number of steps for your first encounter, and you have this big grid of stuff that tells you, if you need to do more attacks or if you're done here. And then you turn encounters off, fly up to the moon, go to one of two locations inside, or sorry, not the moon, the giant. Go to one of two locations in the giant, turn encounters back on, and the first encounter you will find is the D Machine encounter, and you can do the grind from there. It's extremely efficient. It's actually, in some ways, maybe even easier than the old method, except that you have to go take a long trek to get there, and if you mess up, it's like a 4 or 5 minute loss. But it's really easy to set up here, and it looks like Baka's just kind of getting some bits and pieces together, and he'll be flying up there. So hopefully he got the count correct, because it's not great.
Does he have only 7 life potions? Did I read that right?
Oh, maybe that's why he's checking shops, actually. Yeah, if he only has 7 potions, you do not want to do this yet. Because, 7 life potions, I mean, you can life glitch 7 times, theoretically. Okay, yep, and he found them. They were in Kaipo, so he's getting a whole lot of them. He's getting some Thor Rages, too, which are great for kind of hitting the little alert robot in the head just enough to make it angry and make another D-Machine pop out.
So while we've been talking about this, we should also talk about penguin8r did not immediately go for the grind, instead finding the elements here, looking for that 10th key item.
Oh, interesting. So he's at 9 key items. Okay, right. Yeah, you said 10. I can count numbers. But this is really interesting. Where is he at? Is this the Odin spot?
This is the Odin spot, yeah.
All things considered, if you can do reflect strats.
We got a reflect element strat going here, so not too complex as long as Rosa and Tella can stay alive here.
Yeah, really, this is mostly a matter of keeping up those blinks, because anything that punches here is punchy, and elements, and the Mylon form of elements is no exception. But if you hit it directly, after a certain point, it will shift into one of the other elemental forms. The first one being Ruby, and Ruby is really, really rude. So skipping that entirely takes out that elements completely, and maybe he'll get that 10th key item, make that grind faster. Earth Crystal it is.
And especially, wow, there we go. That was a big play for penguin8r.
That's huge. Yeah, that's going to save him an extreme amount of time. I guess Baka's at 8 KI, but we're going to see some major catch-up here from penguin8r. I'm very curious to see if he can catch all the way up in this moment. But again, he has 2 other items already ready. He's going to be able to check those as well. So big advantage for penguin8r.
Well, I mean, it really depends on what's on the moon at this point. It's more just the grind will be a little bit faster, too. Like you're saying, just to not leave it in the dust, if you happen to turn that element's fight into Ruby at that spot, the Odin spot, the magic offense there is insane. So Ruby would torch anybody.
Yeah, any version of leg is scary there. But yeah, I know that the Ruby in the elements fight does like Fire 3, and that's nasty. And then I think does like some sort of tornado weak attack or something. I don't remember what it is, but it's really nasty as well. Ooh, and we are going to play our favorite game. ... I don't know if the song's coming on.
What's the game?
Rate That Treasury. Are you familiar?
No.
Okay, we look at the treasury items and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. That had a ninja hat, which is pretty nice. I didn't see... Did it have an hourglass as well, I think? It wasn't super hot, though.
Had an hourglass, had a... This one, I think I saw? Yeah.
Oh, Bacchus. Yeah, somebody else said Bacchus. And a Drain Spear. A Drain Spear actually adds 5 points to the total immediately, so pretty good. But you know how memes go. I mean, there's actually like a little jingle and stuff. If you haven't heard it before, it's pretty funny.
I'll be the judge of that.
Well, that's true. You are the ultimate judge of all, actually. So you will rate the meme out of 10.
That I can do.
Rate that treasury.
Meta.
Bakashinobi on his way in the D-Machine fight. And as we know, he did get that Soma drop, so he does have that small advantage, at least, of having the 100 magic points on Tella. So that'll make his grind a little bit faster in one respect, even though he doesn't have 10 key items.
Early life. Hate to see it. It's interesting watching kind of the different setups, of course, for this D-Machine grind, but back attacks versus regular attacks versus first strike can really inflict a lot of RNG on players, just given how D machine centric I feel like these flags have become.
Yeah, I mean, the new manipulation kind of funnels everyone into some sort of grind manipulation. If you have a Tele, you do D machine. If you don't, and you've got maybe an axe or two or something, then you want to do the Mac Giant usually. So, it definitely kind of puts a lot of emphasis on that.
And sneaky little ice shield play, as X-Pancras points out, that um, putting that on the Sid to cut some of the HP basic damage down since the fire and stuff.
Oh, Count's Petula. I hope I said that name right. We have found a curse ring. I don't know if both players got it. I think penguin8r did. It was in the Feymarch armor shop. Okay, Baka has one. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, the without getting too much into the weeds on agility manipulation, you want to have your agility anchor at as low an agility as possible to make everyone else faster relatively. And so putting that curse ring, it drops 15 agility on whoever wears it. So you put it on, say, Tella, who has already low agility, in the middle slot, which is the anchor slot, and you can make everyone go a lot faster. It's a super efficient way to get things set up, especially if Tella gets a couple too many levels.
So, kind of, since the machine grind is very technical, but not actually, I would say, compelling to watch, maybe. Let's talk a little bit about where the seed lies right now. We've got Penguin up 10 TMs to 8. Kind of the big difference right now, he did the Odin spot, which had the Earth Crystal, if you're just joining. And he also has the Rat Tail from doing Dwarf Castle, which Bakashinobi resets, maybe even smartly, because it was Ogopogo there.
Yeah, I mean, we know that would have ended up taking a hot minute for him. Even if he plays it well, that's still Ogopogo. It still does half your health with 2 waves. But yeah, the other thing is, like, obviously with Earth Crystal, he has another check, and he was able to do the Treasury, although that wasn't super helpful. But if Earth Crystal or Rat Tail have value later on, then he has that advantage. But yeah, both of these players, once they're finished their grind, the world's their oyster, really. They can head underground to Feymarch, take on the 2 Feymarch bosses. They can clear out the moon. Like, there's a number of places they could go, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see significant divergence after the grind's over.
Yeah, Penguin definitely has a lot more incentive to stay on Earth than Baga does right now with that Earth Crystal. But we shall see. We shall see.
Hey, you never
there are
know.
still some spots available. I think we've got a top of tower left. We've got that gauntlet that they both saw in Feymarch. And they both have the loop key and have not gone in Seal Cave yet, right?
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot about Seal Cave. Yes, so that will be absolutely available for them once they're done grinding. It should be real. I mean, really, at this point, once they're done grinding, if they get enough levels, basically everything is easy in terms of fights. There's not a whole lot of things that'll really troll you, except maybe a really gross Golbez spot. But yeah, I feel like top of towers there's often a good play.
There's not real. You're right. There's not, because we've lost all our moon bosses already. I'm trying to think about who else could be approved. Maybe like an Udin somewhere.
Have we seen the Hair Tornado yet?
I've not seen the Hair Tornado yet.
And actually, Baka has done his grind, so that was a pretty efficient run. I think he did a couple of like Ice 2s that allowed him to do multiple, like a triple life glitch instead of double.
736. So, just a little bit short of what we would do in the vanilla speed run. I think it's 778 on that one. But of course, we don't get double XP anywhere either.
Yeah, that is an addition to Free Enterprise, I believe. It's funny, I've been watching Free Enterprise for so long that I kind of forget where the original FF4 ends and the Free Enterprise begins. So a lot of things that I take for granted here, I don't realize just don't exist in the original.
Yeah, both our runners finding a curse ring. That's very nice for that level 45 till it's now wandering around.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it's possible that they would have the foreknowledge to or whatever to kill off that Tela before getting that XP. And obviously with the curse ring, you don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, so now we've got the world is our oyster. Do moon, or do you want to collect the 3 remaining things? That's the question for Bakashinobi as Penguin begins his grind, and should be quicker because of the 10 key items, so less D machines necessary to get the same results.
Yeah, I'd say given the legwork that both of these runners have done, that penguin8r's put in more legwork given the kind of difference in the times and where they are here. So, that might be to his benefit, especially if those things end up paying off later on, if he gets a hook and that rat tail has go mode or whatnot. So, there are definitely a lot of opportunities available here. And yeah, penguin8r's going to catch up a little bit because he's going to have to do basically half as many D machines here to get through. I don't know what number exactly they're looking for, but that'll help a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about on like a meta level. You spend a lot of time on a spot like Castle. Like, are you even rooting for that red tail to matter right now? But like, if it was like something that you could actually do right away, like if a crystal was there, that something. But like, Penguin probably really hoping that red tail comes into play still.
I bet that's like a back pocket, like, hey, if I get a hook, this might be an advantage. I mean, it's hard to know what they might think their opponent did, but given how trolly Dwarf was and how immediately you found out about that Ogopogo, it might be a thought that penguin8r has that Baka skipped it. Who knows?
Yeah, Baka now having to go down to element spot, or sorry, the Odin spot, which we know is elements. Penguin already did this. So we know it's the Earth Crystal down here. However, did not do it at a high level like Baka's going to do. So Buzzsaw coming here.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting a little overlap here. So yeah, this is definitely all penguin8r kind of gaining back some time with Baka doing this. But also, this fight is going to be pretty smooth with, I think that Rydia got a nuke?
Yeah, it did.
And even Tella gets to do reflect fire 3s. Even a weak Tella will still crumple elements with a pretty good reflect fire 3. Because is it that they have it's like a 4 times damage with fire?
Yeah, it's the ultra weak status for the elements. And the vanilla speedrun, you would actually do this fight with fire 3 and cure 4. Which I think he set up with Rosa, but never got to.
Right. Yeah, didn't even get there because that nuke did the real work, and that fire 3 helped too. So he's through, got the Earth Crystal.
Penguin grind is done. The Penguin grind is done. So that's all set.
But yeah, Baka definitely seems to be making the play to stay on Earth here. So it's very curious to see where he goes next. And if penguin8r decides this is the time I'm going to go hit Moon, we're going to see the major divergence here, and that will be really interesting. I don't know about you, but I've never been a huge fan of doing Earth Crystal. Even if it's available, it's like one of the last things I do because it just takes a month with all like 12 cutscenes and 2 bosses.
It's one of those things where you have to kind of your opponent in the whole mix, because some opponents kind of route their way, like you're saying, to just be what's the fastest check I can do. Some opponents have tendencies where they're like, I'm always going to do the twin harp. And obviously in the seed you're going to do a twin harp anyway, but like generally speaking, it really depends on your read of your opponent.
Yeah, and sometimes it depends on routing. Like if Bakashinobi has 3 things left to do on the overworld, maybe he'll just route that Earth Crystal in. Which he obviously didn't. He just had that.
Penguin don't care. He's going right to the moon.
Ooh, interesting. But yeah, Baka's doing Luca Cave, so we're going to see that early check to see what the item is, and then he'll face whatever boss, which at this point will probably be pretty easy.
Well, we don't know that. It could be Valspell, and Bakashinobi only has Yang as an attacker, right?
He also has Sid.
Well, he only has Yang as an attacker, right?
You're right. He only has, yeah, my bad. Oh, whoa. Thank you, Couch23, for the raid of 277. Welcome to the race. We are in a dead sprint here, sort of, but on two different places between Bakashinobi and penguin8r. Both are done their grind, and Baka is taking out the overworld and underground, and penguin8r's on the moon. And Bakashinobi just found a pass. You keep that. That's a keeper.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, you were asking if you do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's free, so that's not too bad. But
yeah, I think given that this is a free fight, like, yeah, it's tough to say though, because is it the walk from, you know, not being able to have the pass, is that faster or slower? I don't know. It depends on some things, but obviously being able to cast stone and just immediately taking him out is pretty free.
Yeah, if it was a longer fight, it would have been a bigger question, I guess.
Yeah, like you said, if you see that Val there and you're having to like somehow try and pierce that awful defense, then that's going to take a hot minute.
All right, so Penguin's going right to the top. None of this tomfoolery with the top of the moon.
Yeah, sometimes people do the top-down strats, or I don't know. Some people just do Bahamut and then head down. Like, there's definitely different ways to go, but the bottom of the moon has the most dense bosses, and obviously the one in the ribbon room that has 2 checks.
Right, and of course we only need technically 2 key items to be in go mode, so there is that. I guess the cursed ring on that radio will not last very much longer, huh?
And yep, there it goes. Tell us sorry. You get to be a little bit weaker than you already were. Hope it feels great.
I was like, did I just jinx it? Is he gonna leave it? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, right. That would be unfortunate. But yeah, no, he didn't. And we get Magus Sisters. I don't know. I mean, I guess you got Quake. That's not bad, but they're still gonna be pretty nasty here.
Every time I see the Mega Sisters now, I'm always reminded of how Fred Coughlin, F. Coughlin, starts singing the Hamilton song about the sisters.
That's so awesome. Fred's the best. That's great.
And Mindy.
Baka going to... Oh, actually, Baka never did the Shura spot either, so he's going to take out the Kaipo guards. And I guess then if he's down here, he's also going to do that gauntlet, so that's going to take a hot minute. If that doesn't have anything, that's a huge time sink for Baka that penguin8r will be taking advantage of.
Yeah, this is a big turning point here for sure. I mean, a lot can change in this race just depending on the results of these 2 checked locations.
For sure. I gotta think Baka is probably thinking finish this off and then go do Dwarf, which we know is a pretty decent time sink with no immediate payoff anyway.
Well, this is actually a fairly nice spot for the Mega Sisters. They can be in controller spots, I guess. You're not too put off by this.
Well, and also by the time you get up here, and obviously like after a grind, it's pretty cake. You just throw down the Quakes and you can all 3 of them. It's nice being able to split up the HP between 3 enemies.
Congrats to the Cursed Tella on landing that stone spell. Bakashinobi congratulates him as well by resetting instantly.
Yeah, we're just going to erase that time from existence.
You
didn't do that.
We're leaving the gauntlet.
Whoa, he's going keyless tower. Spice. I think top of tower, I almost always root for tower key. Almost always root for vanilla here.
We've got some Mega Sisters issues here.
Yeah, they're beating up pretty fast. Silent Staff takes down Cindy.
You love to see that.
I love seeing Silent Staff melee. It's so good.
The Silent Staff play pays off for penguin8r.
Oh, most definitely. So everybody be quiet. We get Twin Harp. Hi, that is objective number 4. That's pretty spicy. Wonder if he'll head back and take care of that now. I'd guess that he probably won't, because he still does need another item for go mode.
Yeah. We've seen Val now. Val is hiding in the hook rat, so we'll never see that. And I think this is the Baron guards, because it's the Hyper guards.
Exactly. Well, yeah, having a rude Val out of the way, I truly, unironically hate to see it.
Well, it's bad for our brand, of course, but I bet the runners are happy about it.
That's the thing. We as commentators and as people watching these races definitely root for free enterprise, more so than the racers. We definitely want Trolly. We want them to do well, but we want nasty stuff. And top of tower has a Stardust Rod, and a reset happens immediately. So this planet's getting pretty barren, running out of checks here.
Oof. Is he going to commit bottom now? No, leaving. That gauntlet will never be seen on the Baka screen until it's too late.
I wonder if he's thinking, like, at this point, that if there's value there, penguin8r already would have gotten it and maybe been further along, and he's fading it. He's doing Earth action first.
I don't feel like penguin8r the guy who really leans into the gauntlet very much. But maybe that's just old scouting.
Well, now we have a hook, and so that rat tail is now available. So there are 2 checks on the planet for penguin8r above the other ones. There's 2 new checks, and he is exiting out, it looks like. So we're definitely going to see some Earth work here, as well as some music.
Not even saving. Wow.
Well, I mean, there's an objective involved in that, so he needs to do it anyway. So it wouldn't be something to, like, save scum.
Well, you could still... I mean, he doesn't know this, but he doesn't know that the pass is concealed cave, so...
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he never picks it up. So that could be one advantage Baka has, though, for the end game here, and it's a big one.
It's not insignificant. That's a long walk down. It's a good, I want to say, 100 seconds maybe.
penguin8r bringing a little bit of the memes by going to this barren chocobo forest and picking up the black chocobo to do the swag fly in.
That was a no.
I guess it makes sense. I mean, now he can do double here, right? So he's going to go up and do harp, and then he'll probably end up doing earth right afterwards.
Yeah, he could do that. He too could run into the goal up.
Ooh, ha ha ha! Golbez is so great because he literally trolls you in any spot you find him. Like, there's no time you ever want to see him, and it's like, oh, that's free, that's great. I mean, there are ways around it. You can, kind of get Star Veils up early. You can do these pig mini strats where you don't get you don't get entangled or whatever, and can't move.
Wow, we're microwaving some bacon, Bakashinobi.
Make some for me. I'm hungry. But yes, we are about to see, or hear, I guess. You can't really see music. Well, you can if you're looking at music score, but whatever. We're about to hear.
I was never good at that stuff.
It's tough. It takes a lot of work. I can kind of read music, but that's something I used to do half a lifetime ago. But now I'm going to shut the heck up so you can all listen to the wonderful stylings of DJ Spoony B.
Oh, we're supposed to shut up? But I thought I was going to talk some more about things and stuff.
Well, you can do whatever you want. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I don't know. Halloween's coming up. It's pretty cool. I mean, people are decorating still. You love it.
FF6 boss theme straight up jam.
what's popping out of here?
Get a Knazo.
That's a great spot to find that, man.
Yeah, nuke works even with the high magic defense here, so that's gonna get blown up real fast. Anybody want turtle soup? What's the line? Tonight we dine on turtle soup.
So I have an order here from a Mr. Shredder. Mr. Shredder.
I don't know. I've never had turtle soup. That sounds gross, honestly.
I mean, I always assumed it was a line just for the sake of the show because nobody really eats turtle soup.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. People eat really dumb stuff, though. But we have a crystal helmet. So while that is an objective, and definitely need to do it, it doesn't offer any more help.
That's a form of crystal.
Yeah, not quite the crystals you might be looking for.
Well, you've got to be really technically correct on what you're looking for.
Technically correct. The best kind of correct.
There we go. Now we just need to get more Futurama references out. This commentary will get flowing. Hey, that's a shaking Mylon Z.
Mylon Z hanging out there where the sister element Valvalis usually hangs out. Decided to kind of take over her space. Kind of weird, like flying up in a temple, and he's like the element of Earth. Like that seems like a place he wouldn't want to be, really. I don't know.
Are you a soup guy? Because like I grew up in the South. It's always hot here. I'm not really a soup guy in general. So that kind of informs my turtle soup.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of turtle soup, but we just saw an objective on both sides here.
Well,
that was pretty spicy. That rat tail
well.
has value immediately. That gives go mode to penguin8r, and Baka just got forged, so he is one step closer. But penguin8r is in the driver's seat now. He won't have pass, so that's one disadvantage. But we know the rest of Earth is junk, other than that rat tail with a hook. So if he does more Earth checks, other than getting a rat tail, maybe it's not going to be to his advantage.
Would you say that it's one step closer to the edge and Baka's about to break, though?
God. Now I'm trying to remember the lyrics to it so I can say something funny back, but I don't remember. It's been so long. That's an old song. I need a little room to breathe, Rivers.
Yes, there you go. I was giving you that room to breathe. I wasn't talking. I was letting you figure it out.
I appreciate it. But yes, objective 1 complete for Baka, and 3 about to be done on penguin8r's side.
It's got Ruby.
That's some leg.
It was a in theory.
Yeah, that's a leg cameo. Get just a little leg as a treat. Oh, Pancras beat me to it. Dang it. Well, Baka's in the right place on the moon, but he's starting at Cave Bahamut, which we know is not the right place.
Ooh. Yeah, it's very unlikely value there now. And by very unlikely, I mean it's impossible.
Right, exactly. Yes, yeah, for sure. There's a 5th hidden objective, actually.
It's the 5th objective is memes.
Actually, that's not wrong. Although the 4th objective was also memes.
I just want to point out that Bakashinobi actually checked the job dwarf from the seed, and Penguin did not. So, I mean, I'm always hearing all this stuff about how memes are important, you gotta satisfy the memes, but who's in go mode? I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's no confirmation bias here whatsoever. This is the one data point you need to know everything.
That's how I live my life.
That's how a lot of people live their lives, unfortunately. But no, we know Cave Bahamut, the meme, is a failure. But we do know Music, the meme, is not, but only because it's forced upon us, those jerks that make objectives. How dare they?
Hate those devs. Whoever they are, I'm just gonna ground them into a pile of. Oh, wait,
Oops.
did I help make this game? Well.
Oh well. I guess you're gonna have to beat yourself up. Sorry, Rivers.
It's really difficult.
But hey, as a fan of a green sports team, you're very familiar with beating yourself up. So, you know.
I'm a fan of a green sports team.
Wait a minute.
Tell
are
me
you
about
green?
it.
There's a blue sports team. Which color is it now? Maybe. Oh no. You know what? See, I'm the fan of the green sports team that beats himself up. My bad.
I mean, I'm definitely a fan of a team that beats itself up. Don't get me wrong. Not green. Anyway, penguin8r has a crystal. That's good. It's looking good for him. He's heading down. Bakashinobi, unfortunately, has picked the wrong rabbit hole here.
Gets a Bahamut out of the Bahamut spot.
Well, I mean, what were you expecting, really?
And wasn't that a Bahamut boss as well? That was that was double vanilla.
Yep.
Beautiful. Well, you know, at least it's got a triple meme and then also fail.
So penguin8r, I mean, what we got a new caster. We've got a white caster. I think we're only at 2, right? We've got Telesid and Edge. There's Edge.
Kane.
Kane, yeah. Okay. Interested to see how he does this. If he does full reflect, or if he kind of takes it halfway, or uses unicorn strats or whatnot.
Yeah, that's a good question. As I don't think Kane and Sid have particularly amazing weapons. They don't have terrible weaponry. Obviously, that Ogre Axe will do work, but you know, the reflect will be quicker. You skip that refill in the middle of the fight, so I could see unicorn if he has them, or just going straight reflect too, or
Chad,
hybrid.
I will turn this seed around right now if you don't stop spamming those flags. We're not even in the core yet.
See, okay, finally I found somebody. I agree. They do it too early. They're just getting too excited. You gotta chill. It's hard though. I get it.
There we go. Now you can start doing it. Yeah.
Okay, now the flags are acceptable. In fact, see, I will put flags in as well, as a token of how acceptable they are. But tell me, Rivers, what are these flags about? I don't understand language or flags or like, I don't know, human language or anything. So.
Understand human language? Wow. Well, I think they're talking about the Z-Cross, which you have the slot receiver fake at the in, then go back out. So, I mean, it's pretty effective underneath route. I don't know if I would call it in the middle of a free enterprise seed. I think it might be a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not a great strategy here. I don't know if it's going to really work in a role-playing game where you're pushing buttons and casting spells. That seems like it may be incompatible.
Now, I've heard something, and maybe you can help me out, Grandpa. There's something about a butt or something. Isn't that part of it?
Yeah, that's right. So everybody in this community just like really loves butts. I mean, the butts are really cool, you know? Can't blame them. But I get butt. So I guess I finally got to ask the question: whose butt are we going to kick tonight? Sorry, I was
Adam Gaze. Come on, Bill O'Brien-ness. Come on, Bill O'Brien-ness.
Monokuma.
Well, I mean, that's close enough. I'm good.
Was it? It's poo. Okay. I can't do laugh things. What is jokes? But yeah, this is the main, I guess, antagonist of Danganronpa, that series, Monokuma.
I want you to know that my cat is snoring in the background, so that pops through. You might hear that. And I think that the cat has a better chance of losing the C fight than Penguin does.
Yeah, if there's anybody I trust with like 4,400 HP, Sid, and whites and nukes online, and yeah, everybody here can survive a full Big Bang except, well, Tell obviously, but Rydia might not. But yeah, there's no way he doesn't plow through this. He's extremely in the lead now, and I'm totally not jinxing him by saying any of this stuff whatsoever.
If John Madden won the booth, I bet he would talk about how Threemus only uses Big Bang, but it should be Big Boom.
I don't know as many lines about John Madden. Meats and different meats? Turducken or whatever it is?
He did talk a lot about turducken, yeah. That's what happened when you do the Thanksgiving commentary.
See, that's what we need. We need a turduckamus or something like that.
Does anybody need a turducken? Anywhere?
I don't know. Maybe.
I've never had one.
Yeah, I don't know why I'd want, like, I can eat 3 meats separately. I don't need like one weird meat like monstrosity. I don't need a Frankenstein of meat.
We've got some bops here. So Kane and Sid are involved in the damage at least a little bit. Good for them, they're helping.
Everybody helps in their own way. Tella helps by lying on the ground, or maybe he's just like sitting there staring at like the universe flying by and just going, "Whoa, this amazing dude." You don't need to be old, Synconaut, to take a nap. I'm ready for a nap. Wait, maybe I am old. Shoot.
I mean, nap does sound good.
Yeah, right. Give me a turducken and then I'll take a nap.
Oops.
Sorry, Rosa. You get to take a nap too. You've worked really hard this seat, honestly, though.
This may be getting out of hand, just a little bit.
Oof, yeah, that Big Bang. That was nerfed though, I think. So Rydia might not die here. Ooh, close one actually. And Baka just found the Twin Harp, so he is headed down and quickly.
He is in go mode. He does have the ability to. Ooh, here comes Meteor.
Rocks rock. Oh, pop rocks.
Rydia dodges the Meteor.
And we get the crack boom! Penguin8r wins with an official race time of 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 47 seconds. He advances to the quarterfinals where he will be facing Pancras. GG's to Penguin8r.
We'll see about getting him in as soon as we can.
Yeah, there we go. Waiting for that penguin. Yes. Always appreciate. See, Penguin8r still does the memes. He just does them after he's done.
I mean, that's how I did it too. So yeah.
It's efficient. You don't let the memes get in the way of your race. I respect that.
Newt, a newt.
Newt. And we are joined by the winner of this race, Penguin8r. GG's.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for not breaking my bracket, Penguin. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Am I supposed to win the next one or not?
You are, actually.
Yeah, you are for me too, so please do that. Please save my bracket, because my bracket's destroyed.
Alright, got it.
But yeah, how'd you feel about this race?
Oh,
oh, sorry.
I was going to talk about what made you decide to go for that guard fight in the King Queen spot.
Well, I guess just realizing that I could I didn't at first, and then I remembered I had the Hourglass and the Assassin Dagger. And anytime I can take an early summon fight, I usually like to. If it turned out to be a key item, of course, that's really nice. If not, it's at least a very nice XP infusion to get some early levels. Got Berserk on Rosa, got Kane up to 20s, where he starts to get a lot stronger.
Got the Silent Staff for the Mega Sister skill.
Yeah, that helped a little bit. Probably should have just Berserked Rosa from the start on that one.
Hey, she took out was it Cindy, the middle one? So yeah, that was pretty good. How'd you feel about Dwarf Castle, given that you had to deal with that gross Octomam? I don't remember who the second boss was, but it also took a sweet minute.
I believe it was Mylon and Friends, so it wasn't too scary. Pretty low magic there on very low power spells anyway. But of course, a bunch of enemies to get through, and starting out just with Kane was a little rough. So I wasn't too happy to get the Rat Tail. No hook yet, no immediate value. And I guess that led me to take the basement fight in Baron Castle, really gambling on getting a key item there to get my 10 items for the grind, because I felt like I needed to get some value after investing all that time on Dwarf Castle. And fortunately, it did pay out with at least the key item. And I guess it could have been the fourth objective I followed, but I didn't want to follow the Earth Crystal with Darkness already.
Yeah, it makes plenty of sense to me for sure. Any out of that Rude Wyvern fight? What do you think about that?
It wasn't the worst thing. I could have just popped a Star Veil, but I didn't want to go into the second fight with just one character. So I figured after 2 tries, I just, not tunnel on it, come back later. Maybe there's a Cursed Ring underground, which there was, and extra levels, which made it a lot easier to just hit and get through easily.
Yeah, those guards in the Ashura spot gave you the XP and the Curse Ring and the Silent Staff even too for the extra healing and stuff. So that made that spot a lot easier, which was really good for you.
Yeah, and in the previous match, I think we both had some trouble on the Wyvern, so kind of learning from that, I didn't want to, invest too much time trying to get through a tough Wyvern when I could just come back later and it would be easy.
Well, we've got you're up next round against Ekraz, who is listening to this conversation. So, any kind of heel comments or trash talk that you just want to get out there, air in front of him right now?
I mean, well, I've raced him a lot the past couple months or so, just in pickup races. So I know he's gotten really good. But I just promised to you two that I'm going to win, so that's that.
Yeah, made promise. You can't turn it back. Oh, unfortunately, we're all digital, so we can't like pinky swear, because that would be the real sign of proving your word here. But we do respect what that you believe in yourself to continue further, obviously. So yeah, the next round is going to be great. Being in the quarterfinals, you definitely have an uphill battle ahead of you. What do you think so far about the tournament and just how you've been and how the opponents have been, and honestly how Bakashinobi has played against you, because obviously he picked you in this matchup?
Yeah, it's been a good tournament run so far, hoping it keeps going for a bit more. Yeah, so I've played Baka 4 times in this tournament now, and now we're 2-2, so I'll have to write his name down in the Penguin Note for next tournament when that comes around.
Penguin Note, is that like an official thing? Did you like get a patent for that, or is that for sale somewhere?
No, it's like the Death Note book. I think that's an anime thing. I don't. I didn't actually watch it. I've heard references to it.
Hey, close enough. It is a book. It is a thing that gets written in and people die.
I imagine it as like a notepad program, but just for Penguin.
You just say everything in Newt.
Yeah, it's really the Penguin Newt.
Well, congratulations again on your win. Do you have anything else to share while we wait for Baka in this Z fight?
Thanks for commentating and all that, and GG to Baka. We should see him in here shortly. Looks like his Threemus fight's getting underway.
definitely. Yeah, GG's penguin8r, and good luck next round. And we see the weird monochrome bear hanging out here to get beat up again by Bakashinobi.
Do we think that we should have talked about how he clutch had that Z fight, or do you think it was just fun to ignore it?
Ignore what? I do jokes. I get jokes. Actually, while we were hanging out here watching this guy get beat up, there is another race this evening. Another Game 3. Actually, all the rest of the matches are Game 3, but we have PK 4787 versus Flurry 14 at 10 p.m. Eastern on Free Enterprise. So for those of you who want some more epic Game 3 action, stay tuned this evening.
Yeah, we have a lot of epic Game 3s both this evening and tomorrow is packed full of them. So please stay tuned. Please keep checking this out. This tournament's gone really, really well. Thankfully, they kicked that River off the admin team, so he doesn't mess it up.
Yeah, I don't even know who that guy is. He's somebody. He's somebody important, probably, but whatever.
Yeah. That's a stretch.
Ouch. Self-burn. But yeah, this is, I mean, I've been doing a lot of restream and a lot of other stuff during this tournament. I didn't play so well, so we won't talk about that. But it's been really exciting so far. And the fact that this round of 16, it has eight matchups, and 7 of the 8 are going to Game 3, to the elimination game, is really hype.
Yeah, I really feel like the quality has picked up a lot the last couple of tournaments. Sure, and coming from like busy doing my real job a lot now because we're in football season, and trying to fill out a bracket, I was just like, I have no idea who to pick for most of these matches. These are all barn burners.
Yeah, doing bracketology for this was just kind of like, I don't know, I'm gonna pick names, and those names are different than the other names, so I'm gonna pick, I don't know. I'm not good at this anyway. Also, bracketology is really weird when it's like not teams and it's just people you know. It's like, which friend of mine I'm going to pick to advance?
Well, if you're me, you just pick Penguin to win the whole thing, knowing that he's the defending champ. Remember?
Oh, that's right. That was like 17 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to remember anything that happened in 2019 and think that it actually happened like recently. I get it. I understand.
Time makes no sense anymore.
Time is a social construct.
This is true. And 2020 is exactly Possumorpheus. 2020 has been the longest decade of my life. I feel that one.
So this fight's going pretty well, I feel like.
Yeah, it's efficient. Like, there's not a whole lot to say. It's like, okay, he's doing the reflects, he's doing the hits, all his characters are up, he's playing it very efficiently at this point, so he's doing a great job. And by the way, everybody in chat, thanks for hanging out. This is this isn't so fun when it's just my co-commentator and I talking to each other and pretending that we like get along at all. But it's way easier if there's like hundreds of other people and I can get along with at least one of them. Then I feel okay. But no, it's great having everyone here to join and watch with us because it's so much fun.
Wow, I didn't know that we were on such bad terms.
I don't know if we were on any terms, honestly. Like, yeah. This is literally the first time I've talked to you, I think, so.
That's fair. That's fair.
We saw rocks. We're about to get the crumble. Rydia does the nuke Sid because I guess Sid should be alive for the end of this. Oops.
Well, I mean, he deserved it.
He's probably vulgar, said something mean or whatever it is. She's like, nah.
Nah, son. Nah, son, we don't roll with that anymore, Sid.
Yeah, direct nuke this time. That should do the job.
Putting the bear in the microwave, and that is a GG.
Ugh.
For Bakashinobi.
GG's Bakashinobi. And I believe... Oh, we are joined by Bakashinobi.
Hi.
GG, man.
Man, it's been a long time since I've seen rocks. I don't remember
did
the
you
last...
do reflex strat stuff?
Yeah, I don't remember the last choice I did. An actual let's go all the way through his Rums's health. Should have done that for this one, but I thought I had a Unihorn to go and use in Penguin8r's honor. I misremembered, so, well, we just went through all that HP.
The important thing is that you tried something and failed.
Exactly.
I mean, it was a pretty well played, clean seed by you. You guys both got out of the giant probably within 3 or 4 minutes of each other, and most of that was you catching up on the elements fight, and then from there, you went in completely different directions, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
directions for you.
Yeah, I decided I wanted to go and check the. I hate leaving, knowing that there's a free fight in Fame, which I could have done before I did my grind, and leaving it. And then I hate leaving Sealed Cave and Top of Tower, something I can leave. Once I did all those, and they all come up bust, like, well, I should go and follow up on the stupid Earth Crystal that I got, right? Go and just commit to skipping parts of Earth. And that at least gave me the adamant, so I felt better about going Moon. But yeah, that things happen. The Vanilla Cave Bahamut, a lot less funny when it's happening to you.
Yeah, I guess memes that don't actually pay out aren't so great when you're trying to find something that pays out. But it was pretty funny, not gonna lie.
I was sorely tempted to keep it because, Dragon God's pretty good, but Dragon God's slower than Nuke, and what fight would actually go and benefit from me having Dragon God? And then I find Mega Sisters, so even. I mean, that's just. Go ahead.
I want you to know that I think you're the first person I've ever seen play this game and get burned for leaving Ogopogo.
Yeah, I know. That was another amusing thing to discover, that the Rat Tail and Hook were at, they were right next to each other in places that, Ogopogo is Ogopogo, who you're happy to go and say, stay right there in Dwarf Castle, I'll come back never. And yeah, seeds go that way sometimes. Sometimes you go and make your guesses. I figured I was behind, so I want to go and do top down to see if I could skip the long walk, go and pick one of the 2 items for go mode, and maybe catch up sometime there, and didn't work out. I mean, I kind of figured I had lost after I did so much on the Earth and only one of them paid out big.
Yeah, I mean, getting Forge obviously was a pretty big deal. You did that, whereas Penguin8r didn't. But then, and that gave you the opportunity to only need one of the 2 items up on the moon. You didn't need to do Dwarf, so that was good. But yeah, obviously, the moon kind of had the plays here. Do you, when you're thinking about routing between Earth checks and moon checks, like what kind of sends you either direction?
The past really helped me feel better about going Moon, because walking down Moon twice feels really bad, and that's part of what should have driven me to the bottom of the Moon sooner, where I have a pass, I can go and dive straight down, clear that out, get what I need. I only needed 1 item then. And the Moon is a really heavy commitment check. You spend 3 minutes walking down, then you spend several minutes going through each fight, but you get a lot of checks back to back to back to back, which is why it's a very scary play. It's scary to go and commit to, because you're spending a lot of time doing those fights and getting a lot of checks that might all be rabbit holes. And it's scary when your opponent does it, because any one of those could just give them one of the objectives. And if you need 2 objectives, sometimes it's okay. When you need 1 objective and you can just pull it out of there, it feels a lot more appealing to me. But it's such a high commitment play. You have to go and feel good about it and way things worked out.
Now, you actually decided to pick Penguin8r to play. After these 3 games, how are you feeling about that decision?
If I'm going to lose to anyone in this tournament, I'd rather be Penguin8r, because we have the my first match of this tournament was against penguin8r. If my last match is going to be against someone, I'm happy for it to be against penguin8r, to be honest. And it's just, I mean, yeah, I could have drafted like, this person gives me a slightly better chance, but it's not like it's, do I want to go against someone who's good, really good, exceptionally good, exceedingly good, disgustingly good, fantastically good, amazingly good, or some other people who I can't pick because they're drafting the other teams? It's just, there's too much talent to go and say, yeah, this is clearly the best guy to go and pick to go and try and beat and advance in the tournament. Because, I mean, to me, if I pick the person who's like, yeah, I can probably beat that person, and then next round, if I switch up the bracket, so I was facing Slippery, who was the 16th seed, I'd be facing either penguin8r or Pancraz. Neither of them are going to go and be very easy or remote pushover, so I don't think I don't think this is a mistake. I think it's just line the gauntlet with good opponents, so you feel you're not like getting complacent with any of them. You're going in hard for all of them.
That's an interesting way to put that, for sure. One thing I love about this community is like we set up this draft and kind of like I guess kind of from a sports perspective, the cynical way to look at it is, well, I mean, we're going to forge some rivalries. There's going to be some real heat between these guys, and then all that happens is everybody in the community is too nice and too sweet, and I kind of love it that we just these little friendly rivalries now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing I loved about this draft: picking your own players. You don't. Very few drafts of any kind sports-wise would do something like that. So being able to do that, and the stakes being what they are, I think it's great that everyone picked like really good matchups for themselves. Like they didn't shy away from the tough fights. So I appreciate that you went after a good rival and a really good match. And this 3-game series has been excellent. And honestly, your entire time in this tournament has been great. You've shown how good you are, even though you did take a little bit of time off. You definitely got right back in this. So now that you have been eliminated, unfortunately, what do you think about the tournament? What do you think about this whole series? What's your thoughts?
It's been a great tournament so far. It's been my first time doing a 1v1 tournament for Free Enterprise. Probably haven't leaned into it as much as I should have for some of these things. I should have gone and done more researching, but honestly, I like playing Free Enterprise. I've only raced Free Enterprise, to be entirely honest, because playing seeds on my own got boring. I started thinking, well, I'm just going to go and win by going and grinding up, getting a bunch of experience. So racing kind of refreshes Free Enterprise for me. And each of these tournaments, we go and have some very interesting flag sets, and we go and change the game in interesting ways that I would not necessarily choose. Like Permajoin is a very interesting option, and having the free characters in to go and take some of the bite out of it, so it's not just, hi, here's 3 outdoors in a form, go do a hook route. There's a lot of good, interesting stuff you can go and see with Free Enterprise, and these tournaments are a great way of seeing more of it. And I like that we kind of have this tier that we go and focus around, like, we end on S Pro and T Pro the last 2 tournaments, but they're good, solid sets, and then we can still build off it in other ways, which makes things very interesting. And the objectives are good at going and forcing other places to be in play, and maybe need to go and consider how likely is it that I'm going to find Veil, how do I want to go and build my team. There's just a lot of great and interesting choices that our flags will go and produce, and our tournaments are great at showing it all off. All the great people who play this game, all the people who put in the time to learn all the different things, like where is Val weak to magic and where is Val going to have high evade, or how much damage is Dark Knight Cecil going to do. There's an Odin here, there's an Edward, let's take him so I can go and do the Thunderstruck strats. There's just a lot of great players, and I just love being able to see all of them out. So I've had a lot of great fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing this to the end from the sidelines.
Yeah, we get you back on the commentary booth, so I mean, everybody will be excited about that.
I know, this whole being a tournament participant means I spent less time commentating. It's so sad, really.
And fewer puns. We need more puns, Baka. Please
bring
back puns.
We don't need that many more puns.
Rivers made it very clear what he thinks of my puns when we commentated together. We should do that again sometime.
Do we have to?
Have to is such a strong word.
Well, again, GG's. It's been a great run for you. Wish it would have been a different way, but when it's just two of your friends, like Brad was saying, it's like choosing between your babies, and you just hope it's a good match.
Yeah, this is a great set. I'm happy that I forced a game 3. I'm happy that I finished this tournament with an even record against penguin8r. So I'm happy to walk out of this one head held high. I did better than I was expecting, to be entirely honest, after taking off an entire tournament and not really practicing that hard in that time either. So I made top 12 last year. I made top 16 this year. That's not a bad record at all.
Yeah, that's easy. The whole skipping the tournament thing, come back. That's not hard. Well, thank you so much for joining us in the booth. Of course, we've got a game tonight at 10 Eastern. It'll be the thrilling game 3 of PK4787 and Flurry 14. We have a leggy restream with commentary from Gambit and Infinius and Twisted Flaxtooth on the tracking. Groundfly, you want to take?
What was that? Sorry, you blurped out for a second.
Just said you want to take us out of here.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Absolutely. So again, thank you, Baka. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us, and I believe we are going to be rating Radio Hupfin. So all of you hang out and give the free enterprise love to her. Show how awesome we all are. Not that you really need to do much because you're all awesome, but yeah, thank you so much, and thank you also. Don't want to forget to Dathis, who did the tracking, and X Pancras, who did the scouting of his opponent, the restreaming. Thank you for your hard work as well, and thank you, Rivers, for this chat and pretending like you like my you like chatting with me. I appreciate that too. But regardless, thank you all.
I had a good time.
Good, I did too.
It was delightful.
I'm just being silly, but anyway, take care, friends, and I'll see you next time.